Hollywood has always been a world of glamour, lights, and fame, but behind the scenes, the stories are not always as shiny as the red carpet. The man often called the kindest director in America, Ron Howard, recently revealed 6 actors from Hollywood's golden age who gave him some of the most difficult experiences of his career. In an interview with Rolling Stone, Howard admitted that working with some stars left him frustrated, challenged, or even shocked. While he has always been known for his calm and diplomatic nature, some of these actors tested his patience and professionalism in ways that were unforgettable. Each actor had a story connected to a movie, television show, or production incident that taught Howard lessons about human behavior, ego, and the challenges of working with some of the most talented but unpredictable personalities in the industry. These experiences also shaped him into the director he is today. They show that even Hollywood legends can be difficult, manipulative, or surprising in their actions, leaving a mark on colleagues and project alike. The first actor on Howard's list is Tom Hanks, known worldwide as one of America's most beloved and morally upright stars. Many fans assumed that working with Hanks would be easy because of his friendly public persona, but Howard revealed that their collaboration during the Da Vinci Code trilogy was far more complicated than anyone expected. The project, spanning over a decade, was a monumental undertaking for Howard. He described the films as his child, something he nurtured with great care, attention, and a deep personal investment in every detail. The first movie, The Da Vinci Code, 2006, involved months of meticulous planning, especially when filming inside Paris's Louvre Museum, where Howard spent over 6 months negotiating permissions and adhering to strict rules to shoot scenes near the Mona Lisa. Despite the careful work and long hours, Hanks later dismissed the trilogy in a 2022 interview, calling it nonsense scavenger hunt type nonsense, and suggesting it was more about commerce than art. For Howard, this was painful. The films were not just professional projects. They were personal labor, reflecting his passion and commitment. Beyond the criticism itself, it struck at the heart of their once close friendship. The two men had previously collaborated on successful projects like Splash, 1984, and Apollo 13, 1995. But Hanks's words felt like a betrayal, leaving Howard hurt and disappointed. This episode shows that even the most respected stars can sometimes undervalue the emotional investment directors place in their work. It also highlights how fame and public statements can complicate professional relationships, creating tension between actors and directors despite years of mutual respect and shared success. The second actor Howard mentioned is Vince Vaughn, whose comedic talents have made him famous, but whose off-the-cuff behavior has caused headaches for directors. Vaughn's controversial moment occurred during the release of The Dilemma in 2010, when a single 6-word line in a trailer, "Electric cars are gay," sparked nationwide debate. While the comment was intended as a joke, media outlets and advocacy groups criticized it as offensive, creating pressure on both Vaughn and Howard. As a director and co-producer of the film, Howard found himself navigating a delicate balance between defending creative freedom and addressing public sensitivity. Vaughn's history as a bold, outspoken, and sometimes hot-tempered actor amplified the controversy. Reports of past incidents, including bar fights and media clashes, contributed to perception that Vaughn often acted without considering consequences. For Howard, this was an unexpected challenge. He had to handle media inquiries, write public statements explaining the context, and protect the integrity of his work while also managing the potential fallout. Although The Dilemma eventually premiered, its reception was underwhelming, and Vaughn retreated from the public eye for a year. This experience underscores the difficulties directors face when working with actors whose public persona or impulsive behavior can overshadow a film itself. It also demonstrates the lasting impact a single line or action can have on production, affecting both artistic perception and box office results. The third actor on Howard's list is Paul Bettany, who played the albino assassin Silas in The Da Vinci Code. Bettany's performance was widely praised for its intensity, but also drew criticism from medical and religious communities. Albinism advocacy groups accuse the filmmakers of reinforcing harmful stereotypes by portraying Silas as a villain. At the same time, international audiences and religious organizations reacted strongly, leading to bans in several countries and requiring edits in others. Howard defended Bettany publicly, emphasizing that the actor was simply performing the role as written. However, the controversy placed both men under intense scrutiny, forcing Howard to engage in media discussions about ethics, representation, and creative responsibility. Bettany himself experienced significant pressure, receiving threats and enduring public criticism despite his dedication to the role. The situation highlights how the decisions of actors, combined with the power of their characters, can influence public perception and complicate a director's work. For Howard, it was a lesson in managing complex human dynamics on a global stage while maintaining artistic integrity. Despite these challenges, Howard and Bettany's professional relationship endured, though it was never quite the same, reflecting the long-lasting impact such incidents can have on collaboration. The fourth actor is Henry Winkler, best known as Fonzie on Happy Days. Early in Howard's career, he played Richie Cunningham, the wholesome lead of the show, while Winkler's character quickly became the cultural phenomenon. Winkler's charm, spontaneity, and rising popularity caused a shift in attention from Howard to Winkler, leaving Howard feeling overshadowed and underappreciated. Behind the scenes, this created subtle but meaningful tension. ABC executives even considered renaming the show Fonzie's Happy Days, which Howard strongly opposed. The experience taught him resilience and self-awareness, influencing his later decision to move behind the camera and pursue directing. While Winkler's rise to fame was deserved and charismatic, it inadvertently caused Howard to reassess his own career priorities. The incident illustrates how jealousy, attention, and shifting dynamics among actors can influence morale, creativity, and professional choices, even among the most polite and cooperative colleagues. The fifth actor Howard discussed is Wilford Brimley, whose strong personality and stubbornness made the set of Cocoon a challenging environment. Brimley's insistence on doing things his own way, including refusing certain emotional expressions during key scenes, forced Howard to navigate delicate negotiations while maintaining the vision of the film. Brimley's directness, physicality, and unique approach to acting sometimes conflicted with Howard's structured method of directing. While both men respected each other professionally, the differences created moments of frustration, highlighting the tension between actor autonomy and directorial guidance. This example underscores the reality that even accomplished directors like Howard face challenges managing talented, experienced, and opinionated actors. The experience also emphasizes the importance of flexibility, communication, and mutual respect on set. Finally, Howard named another veteran actor whose actions, while less dramatic, still left a lasting impression. Throughout his career, Howard has encountered stars with complex personalities, strong egos, or unusual methods that required patience and diplomacy. These experiences collectively taught him how to navigate interpersonal challenges, maintain professional integrity, and protect the vision of his work while managing human dynamics. The 6 actors he revealed represent a spectrum of behavior, from bold statements and impulsive actions to career-driven decisions that inadvertently created tension. Each story provides insight not only into Howard's resilience, but also into the reality of working in Hollywood's golden age, where talent and ego often collide, and where directors must balance artistry with diplomacy, patience, and emotional intelligence that, in conclusion, Ron Howard's reflections on the 6 most challenging actors of Hollywood's golden age offer a rare glimpse behind the curtain. The stories demonstrate that even the most talented, admired, and iconic stars can be difficult, demanding, or controversial. Yet, these challenges also shape Howard's career, strengthening his ability to lead, manage conflict, and protect the integrity of his films. From Tom Hanks to Vince Vaughn, Paul Bettany to Henry Winkler, and Wilford Brimley, each story reveals the complexities of creative collaboration and the human side of filmmaking. Howard's experiences remind us that success in Hollywood is not only about talent or reputation, but also about resilience, understanding, and the ability to navigate personalities and conflicts with wisdom and grace. The lessons from these 6 actors extend beyond the entertainment industry, showing that dealing with difficult people is a universal challenge, even in a world as glamorous as Hollywood. Hollywood is often portrayed as a world of lights, glamour, and fame, but the reality behind the camera is often more complex, full of tension, egos, and unexpected conflicts. Ron Howard, one of the most respected and beloved directors in America, has recently opened up about his experiences working with some of the most challenging actors in Hollywood's golden age. Known for his calm demeanor and professional integrity, Howard describes 6 actors who, despite their fame and talent, tested his patience, judgment, and even personal limits. These actors, through their words, actions, or choices, created moments that Howard still remembers vividly. From personal betrayals to public controversies, Howard's stories reveal the human side of filmmaking, the conflicts, compromises, and emotional labor that come with managing extraordinary personalities on set. While Hollywood is celebrated for its magic and artistry, Howard's accounts remind us that even legends can be difficult, challenging, or unpredictable. His reflections are not just about criticizing actors. They are about the lessons learned in navigating creative collaboration, balancing artistic vision with human dynamics, and maintaining professionalism in the face of pressure, fame, and controversy. Each actor represents a different challenge, and together they paint a picture of the hidden struggles behind the silver screen. The first actor Ron Howard named was Tom Hanks, an actor widely regarded as the moral compass of Hollywood. While many assumed that working with Hanks would be easy due to his friendly public persona, Howard revealed that their collaboration during the Da Vinci Code trilogy was more complicated than most fans could imagine. Howard described the trilogy as a personal project, almost like a child he had nurtured with care, attention, and deep passion. The production of the first movie, The Da Vinci Code, 2006, involved months of negotiation, especially for scenes filmed inside Paris's Louvre Museum. Howard spent over 6 months working with the French Ministry of Culture to gain permission to shoot near the Mona Lisa, agreeing to strict confidentiality and adhering to long shooting hours. Hanks, exhausted by the intense schedule, reportedly had to change costumes inside the museum while barely speaking to anyone. Despite all this effort, Hanks later publicly dismissed the trilogy, calling it nonsense scavenger hunt type nonsense in a 2022 interview. For Howard, this was devastating. The films were not just professional projects. They were personal labors of love, representing years of dedication. The criticism felt like a betrayal from someone he had trusted and collaborated with on many successful projects, including Splash 1984 and Apollo 13 1995. This incident highlights how even the most respected actors can inadvertently hurt those who have invested deeply in a project, demonstrating the fragile balance between personal attachment and professional criticism in Hollywood. The second actor on Howard's list is Vince Vaughn, known for his comedic timing, but also for his impulsive, outspoken personality. Vaughn's controversial moment occurred during the release of The Dilemma in 2010, when a 6-word line in the trailer, "Electric cars are gay," caused a media storm. The comment, meant as a joke, was widely criticized as offensive, creating a dilemma for Howard as a director and co-producer. He had to navigate a tricky balance between defending creative freedom and addressing the public sensitivity. Vaughn, who had a history of fiery behavior and public controversies, unintentionally drew Howard into a heated discussion about comedy, responsibility, and the boundaries of acceptable speech. Howard handled the situation professionally, issuing a statement explaining the context of the line and defending the character's personality. Yet the episode demonstrates the challenges of managing actors who act impulsively. The fallout affected the film's reception, with critics and audiences focusing more on the controversy than the story itself. Vaughn retreated from the public eye for a year, and Howard learned firsthand how a single actor's words or actions can significantly impact a production, its reputation, and even a director's career. This story also underscores a modern reality of instant media scrutiny, where social platforms amplify controversies within hours, leaving little room for nuance. The third actor is Paul Bettany, who portrayed Silas, the albino assassin in the Da Vinci Code, drew praise for his chilling performance but also sparked global criticism. Medical and religious organizations accused the film of reinforcing harmful stereotypes, while audiences debated the ethical responsibilities of filmmakers. Howard defended Bettany publicly, emphasizing that he was portraying a fictional character and had no intention of causing offense. Nevertheless, the controversy was intense, with international bans, media scrutiny, and public debate placing significant stress on both Bettany and Howard. Bettany himself endured criticism, threats, and media pressure, illustrating the risks actors take when portraying extreme characters. Howard's defense of Bettany showed his loyalty as a director and mentor, but also drew him deeper into the controversy. The situation exemplifies the fine line between artistic freedom and social responsibility, highlighting the complex dynamics directors must manage while guiding actors through high-stakes projects. Despite these challenges, Howard and Bettany maintained a professional relationship, although the incident left a permanent mark on both men. This story shows that even skilled actors and acclaimed directors must navigate public perception and societal sensitivities carefully. The fourth actor is Henry Winkler, who became a cultural phenomenon as Fonzie on Happy Days. Early in the show, Howard played Richie Cunningham, the wholesome lead, while Winkler's supporting character unexpectedly stole the spotlight. Fonzie's immense popularity created tension, as ABC executives even suggested renaming the show Fonzie's Happy Days, which Howard opposed. Behind the scenes, Howard felt overshadowed and underappreciated, causing subtle but impactful shifts in his experience on set. The rivalry was not personal in a traditional sense. It was about attention, recognition, and professional dynamics. Howard's response to this challenge shaped his resilience, teaching him how to handle being sidelined or outshined while maintaining professionalism. He eventually chose to leave the show to pursue directing, a decision that allowed him to control his creative vision and step away from the shadow of more flamboyant personalities. Winkler's rise to fame inadvertently pushed Howard to focus on his long-term career goals, proving that challenges can sometimes lead to personal growth and professional development. The story emphasizes the unpredictable nature of the entertainment industry, where popularity, charisma, and audience attention can shift dynamics in unexpected ways. The fifth actor is Wilford Brimley, whose stubbornness and strong personality created tension on the set of Cocoon. Brimley, a former Marine with no formal acting training, was known for his bluntness and authenticity. Howard, a methodical and trained director, sometimes clashed with Brimley's insistence on interpreting scenes his own way. One example involved a key scene with a rejuvenation pool, where Brimley refused to show surprise, arguing that an elderly man would not panic, but accept the moment calmly. Howard had to reshoot the scene multiple times to satisfy both artistic vision and Brimley's interpretation, costing time and money. The conflict highlighted the balance directors must find between respecting an actor's creativity and maintaining narrative control. Brimley's unpredictable temperament, combined with his status as a respected veteran actor, made the situation even more challenging. Howard had to navigate ego, professionalism, and artistry simultaneously, demonstrating the demanding nature of directing high-profile actors in emotionally charged films. Finally, Howard referenced another veteran actor whose professional behavior, while less dramatic, tested his patience through stubbornness and unpredictability. Throughout his career, Howard has repeatedly encountered actors with strong personalities who required careful management, whether through negotiation, reassurance, or assertive direction. These experiences collectively shaped Howard's approach to directing, teaching him resilience, communication skills, and emotional intelligence. The 6 actors he discussed, Hanks, Vaughn, Bettany, Winkler, Brimley, and one other veteran, represent different challenges, yet all highlight the human complexities behind filmmaking. They show that even in a world of glitz and glamour, talent can come with difficult personalities, and managing them is a critical part of a director's role. Howard's stories are not about criticizing actors, but illustrating the lessons learned from collaboration, confrontation, and the balance between art and human behavior. In conclusion, Ron Howard's revelations about the 6 most challenging actors of Hollywood's golden age provide a rare glimpse behind the glamour of the film industry. These stories illustrate that even talented, celebrated stars can create tension, conflict, and drama, and directors must navigate these challenges while protecting the integrity of their work. Howard's experiences with Tom Hanks, Vince Vaughn, Paul Bettany, Henry Winkler, Wilford Brimley, and the other veteran actor demonstrate the delicate balance between artistic vision, human dynamics, and professional relationships. From public controversies to personal rivalries, these incidents shaped Howard's approach to filmmaking, strengthening his ability to lead, negotiate, and maintain creative control. They remind us that Hollywood's golden age, like any other workplace, involved navigating personalities, managing expectations, and making difficult decisions to ensure success. Howard's stories serve as lessons in patience, resilience, and the art of collaboration, offering insights not just for filmmakers, but for anyone who works with challenging individuals in high-pressure environments. Tom Hanks' story with Ron Howard is about more than public comments. It's about the intricate layers of collaboration, trust, and shared artistic effort. The Da Vinci Code trilogy required Howard to coordinate massive teams of crew members, negotiate with multiple governments, and deal with religious sensitivities that could have caused the entire project to collapse. For Howard, these films were not just entertainment. They were a personal statement, a blend of art, intellect, and storytelling that he nurtured like a child, Hanks later remarks, dismissing the films as meaningless, touched on a deeper emotional wound for Howard, beyond professional disappointment. It was a reminder that even those closest to us in creative endeavors may drift apart over time, guided by their own priorities, reputations, or career trajectories. Hank's comments inadvertently raise questions about the morality and artistic responsibility of actors. Can someone participate in a decade-long effort and then publicly denounce it without harming collaborators? Industry insiders debated the timing and intent of Hank's statements, noting that he was simultaneously promoting Elvis, a project lauded for its artistic depth. Howard reflected privately on this tension in interviews, noting that the hardest part isn't criticism. It's feeling a friend disassociate from something you both built. While Hank's comments caused media shockwaves, Howard's response was measured, demonstrating his ability to separate personal feelings from professional reality. He focused on celebrating the teamwork, innovation, and creative achievement behind the trilogy. This story highlights a universal lesson. In collaborative fields, even the most trusted partners can challenge your sense of ownership and value. Teaching resilience and emotional intelligence, the Vince Vaughn incident with the dilemma illustrates the power of media amplification in the digital age. The line "electric cars are gay" became a viral controversy, and Howard had to manage the fallout while maintaining professional integrity. What makes this situation fascinating is how quickly the controversy escalated. Social media outrage, mainstream news coverage, and advocacy campaigns turned a 6-second joke into a global debate about morality, humor, and sensitivity. To Howard's approach was careful and deliberate. He publicly explained the context, highlighting that the line reflected the character's personality and not Howard's personal beliefs. This response struck a balance between artistic freedom and social awareness, a tightrope that directors constantly walk in Hollywood. Meanwhile, Vaughn's past controversies, including altercations and tabloid headlines, compounded the public's perception that the actor was reckless. The combined effect amplified scrutiny on Howard, illustrating how directors can be held accountable for their actors' actions even when they have little control over them. This episode also offered Howard insight into audience psychology. Even small actions can be interpreted as symbolic statements about morality, ethics, and societal values. Howard's calm, strategic response to the Vaughn controversy solidified his reputation as a director who can navigate unpredictable human behavior without compromising artistic vision. It also demonstrated the evolving nature of Hollywood controversies in the 21st century, where a single line can dominate headlines worldwide. Paul Bettany's performance as Silas is one of the most visually and emotionally striking in modern cinema, yet it became a lightning rod for criticism. The controversy extended beyond albinism stereotypes. Religious organizations claimed the film offended deeply held beliefs, and governments intervened to impose bans. Bettany's portrayal required not just skill but endurance, hours of makeup, physical self-punishment scenes, and emotional intensity that left him exhausted. Howard's support of Bettany was unwavering, defending the actor publicly despite threats, criticism, and media pressure. This story underscores a complex relationship between actors, directors, and society. Bettany was interpreting a fictional role. Howard was facilitating that portrayal. Yet both became targets of public debate. The experience shaped Howard's philosophy on creative responsibility, highlighting the importance of preparation, empathy, and strategic communication. In later interviews, Howard reflected on the event as a lesson in human dynamics. Sometimes the most powerful stories provoke discomfort, and you must be ready to navigate the consequences with integrity. Moreover, the incident offers insight into Hollywood's global impact. Films are no longer confined to a domestic audience. They are immediately accessible worldwide, and cultural sensitivities must be considered. Howard learned to anticipate audience reaction while maintaining his vision, balancing empathy and artistic courage. Bettany's experience became a case study in professionalism under scrutiny, reinforcing Howard's ability to manage complex, high-stakes projects. Henry Winkler's meteoric rise on Happy Days offers a study in the challenges of fame within ensemble casts. Ron Howard's role as Richie Cunningham was intended to anchor the show, but Fonzie's overwhelming popularity altered the on-set dynamic. Viewers, media, and executives focused on Winkler, leaving Howard feeling marginalized despite his central role. The tension was subtle yet profound. Howard began leaving the set early, avoiding lunch and social interactions, while Winkler engaged more with fans, press, and endorsements. This episode illustrates a key challenge in collaborative creative environments, managing feelings of underappreciation while staying professional. Howard's decision to leave the show and pursue directing was not an act of surrender. It was a strategic move to take control of his career. Winkler's fame inadvertently pushed Howard toward his true calling, teaching him that sometimes obstacles redirect talent toward greater opportunities. The rivalry also exposed the nuances of interpersonal dynamics in Hollywood. Public perception often overshadows private contributions, and personal resilience is as crucial as talent. Wilford Brimley's presence on the Cocoon set exemplifies generational and stylistic clashes between actors and directors. Brimley, a rugged, life-experienced performer, brought authenticity and instinct to his role, but his refusal to follow Howard's precise directions caused repeated delays. The incident with the rejuvenation pool, where Brimley flatly refused to show surprise, required costly reshoots and highlighted the challenges of collaborating with strong-willed actors. Howard navigated the situation by balancing patience, assertiveness, and respect. Brimley's approach was unorthodox, rooted in lived experience rather than formal training, which clashed with Howard's methodical, structured style. This tension ultimately became a teaching moment. Directors must be flexible without compromising vision, and actors must be guided without stifling creativity. Brimley's stubbornness reinforced Howard's understanding of human complexity in filmmaking, preparing him for future collaborations with unpredictable personalities. The sixth actor Howard referenced, though unnamed, serves as a representation of recurring challenges in Hollywood. Veteran actors with strong personalities often test directors' patience and problem-solving skills. These situations require not only leadership, but emotional intelligence, negotiation, and diplomacy. Howard's career demonstrates that a director's success depends as much on managing personalities as on crafting visual storytelling. Collectively, the experiences with these six actors highlight the human side of filmmaking. They show that talent, fame, and skill do not automatically result in smooth collaboration. Directors must navigate egos, public perception, and unexpected controversies while maintaining artistic integrity. Howard's stories remind us that the magic of Hollywood is built on more than sets, scripts, and cameras. It is built on managing human complexity with wisdom, empathy, and courage. Through betrayals, controversies, and moments of tension, Howard learned resilience, communication, and patience. These lessons are applicable beyond Hollywood. Any workplace where creative individuals, high stakes, or public scrutiny can benefit from the insights Howard gained. His career is a testament to professionalism, adaptability, and the delicate art of balancing vision with collaboration. These six actors, in their challenges and unpredictability, shaped not only Howard's films, but his entire approach to leadership in one of the most demanding industries in the world. Hollywood often presents itself as a glamorous world of fame, glitz, and creativity. But behind the cameras, directors like Ron Howard know that even the brightest stars can be difficult, unpredictable, or downright challenging. Over his decades-long career, Howard has worked with some of the most respected actors of his generation. Yet, even those he admired the most tested his patience, professionalism, and emotional resilience. In a revealing interview with Rolling Stone, Howard spoke about six actors who left a mark not just on his films, but on his personal and professional life. Some caused controversies that reached international headlines, while others challenged him on set with stubbornness, ego, or unconventional approaches to acting. Each story reveals a different lesson about collaboration, human nature, and the unpredictable reality of Hollywood. From blockbuster films to beloved television series, Howard experiences highlight a hidden truth. Directing is not just about managing cameras, scripts, or visuals. It's about managing personalities. In today's video, we explore the six actors who made Ron Howard's life on set incredibly difficult, and learn how these encounters shape him into the filmmaker we respect today. Howard and Hank's friendship began in the early 1980s, long before the Da Vinci Code trilogy. Their collaboration on Splash and Apollo 13 set a precedent for mutual trust and admiration. On set, Hank's meticulous preparation and instinctive performances often complemented Howard's directing style. They celebrated successes together and were known for fostering a positive, collaborative environment. Yet, by the time of the Da Vinci Code trilogy, tensions had quietly built. Hank's 2022 remarks were not only a critique of the films, They were interpreted as a personal distancing from Howard himself. Industry insiders speculated that Hank's comments were motivated by career repositioning, particularly in light of his critically acclaimed work in Elvis. Regardless of intent, the comments hit Howard deeply because they reflected a subtle erosion of trust with someone he considered a lifelong collaborator. Howard's response, measured and reflective, underscores his emotional intelligence. He chose not to retaliate or publicly criticize Hanks, focusing instead on the positive impact of their earlier collaborations. The incident demonstrates that even in Hollywood, professionalism and restraint are essential when navigating personal disappointment and public scrutiny. The Dilemma trailer controversy also illustrates the rapid pace of social media amplification. Within hours, the line "electric cars are gay" dominated news cycles, fueled by outrage from advocacy groups and concerned viewers. Howard faced a delicate balancing act: defend the artistic intent while addressing public sensitivities. He published an open letter explaining that Vaughn's character was impulsive and that the line reflected his personality rather than societal values. Despite Howard's efforts, critics continued to attack the film, arguing that it normalized offensive language. Vaughn himself defended comedy as a medium to explore differences and provoke thought, yet his past altercations and public persona amplified scrutiny. This episode taught Howard that controlling a narrative in Hollywood requires both diplomacy and strategic communication. It also reinforced a lesson that directors are often judged not only for their own actions but for those of the actors they guide. The fallout from the controversy extended beyond the film's reception. Vaughn retreated from the public eye for a year, canceling projects and interviews. Howard, meanwhile, emphasized lessons in patience and perspective, noting that controversies, no matter how intense, eventually fade, but the director's professionalism remains. Paul Bettany's portrayal of Silas provoked debates that spanned religion, culture, and ethics. The controversy highlighted a recurring challenge in filmmaking: the global nature of the audience. While the character was fictional, people interpreted his actions and appearance as a reflection of real-world groups, sparking protests, bans, and public statements from authorities, including the Vatican. Howard navigated these challenges by engaging with media, defending Bettany, and clarifying the distinction between fiction and reality. He emphasized that Silas was a character, not a representative of any group. The experience reinforced Howard's understanding of cultural sensitivity, international reception, and the director's responsibility to both art and audience. Bettany's dedication to the role, hours of makeup, physically demanding scenes, and emotional intensity earned Howard's admiration. The controversy became a defining moment in their professional relationship, demonstrating the complexity of collaboration when art intersects with global ethics and public perception. Winkler's rise on Happy Days created both excitement and tension. While Fonzie became a pop culture phenomenon, Howard's character, Richie Cunningham, became overshadowed despite being the show's original anchor. This shift highlighted the unpredictable nature of audience engagement. Public attention does not always align with creative intent. Response was strategic and professional. Rather than seeking conflict, he redirected his energy toward personal growth, ultimately choosing to leave acting to pursue directing. Winkler's popularity inadvertently shaped Howard's career path, teaching him that setbacks can catalyze growth and self-discovery. This experience also demonstrated the emotional challenges of working in ensemble casts, where attention, recognition, and personal satisfaction can vary dramatically.